All right. And we're live. Oh, that's so hot. That's so hot. Fuck. Shit. Walter, how's it going, man? How you doing? I don't think Luvion, Bug, how's it going, guys? Nagato, Moon, how's it going? Tinab. Bye. Alright. Bye, Tinab. Oh, sorry. Bye, Moon. Bye, Nagato. Appreciate you guys popping by. I get it. Oh, that's not bad. Is it gonna be fire? Oh shit, nice. Okay. S-A-T-O. I gotta stop. I gotta sleep, motherfucker. Stop doing this trash ass game to get to reading. Alright, 10 more minutes, Kami, and then I don't start stream. I don't start reading till the scheduled time to stream. So it's like 10 more minutes. You're gonna be okay. It's a fuck time in France, though. I can't even blame him for being mad at me. Shote? Is that a word? What's the point of doing an announcement? Yeah, the announcement was for 9:30 my time, which is in 11 minutes, Kami. I always start 15 minutes early. You know this. You know this. Don't pretend like this is new. Don't make me out to be the bad guy here. Come on. Okay. So S-O... Soothe? Fuck's sakes. What is this? S-O... South. Big brain. Huge. Nah, 5's not actually that great, but we'll take it. Matter. Vanilla. Chocolate. Nah, that's too easy. I thought it'd be sloth. That wouldn't have been a bad one either. Plain. Oh, plain. Vanilla. Standard. Normal? Let's go! Walter, nice. Did you react to 2026 special trailer? No, I did not, sign up. I really should, though. God, there's so much I need to do. Count, horse, Count Dracula. Strand. Wait, dump. Measure, matter, maroon. Bro, work has me so cooked. The problem is I'm so bored at work that I come home and it feels like I've been at work for 80 hours. You know what I mean? I just learned horses stock air in their bone. Wait, really? Do horses stock air in their bones? Is it this? Okay. The skeletal system of a horse has 3 major functions. Protective organ. Air. Oh, I think it's this one here. The nasal cavity contains pertinbate bones that protect the mucous membrane that line the... Is this it? Why the fuck would I be dead, Bullseye? What? You might have just read something, Kami. I don't know if that's true. Do horses retain air, oxygen in their bones? Or no. No, what's in the naval capacity? Yeah, no, I think it's just, I think it's a misunderstanding of this, of the fact that the open capacity of the nostrils, I think. Okay. Like, the problem is I'm so fucking, oh wait, I just realized chat isn't updating on screen. The problem is I'm so bored at work. I'm like actually fucking, like, I come home and I'm so tired because like it feels like I've been at work for 80 hours. Like, have you ever had to pass the day and not do anything? Holy fuck, you want to kill yourself. Oh my god. An 8-hour day feels like 80 hours. Like, it's so agonizing. Like today, I had one appointment at 11:30 who showed up at 10:30, and I got that appointment done in 27 minutes. At 10:57, I was done my work until 5:30, and then I had to sit there, like, scrolling, like, YouTube on my phone, and, like, putting my phone away when the manager would come by, and then try to look busy, like, walk around occasionally, talk to people. Like, I had nothing to do. This is so cooked. I finished all the training that I was given. I'm not allowed, all the appointments I can take. I'm not allowed to be booked appointments yet. Like, my schedule isn't open, so like I can only take walk-ins. So like, I'm fucking just sitting there twiddling my thumbs. Holy shit! Actual cancer, dude. Holy fuck. Okay. But let's start reading. I get paid to do not, dude. I get paid to fucking scroll YouTube shorts. That is my day. Which I know when I say it like that makes me sound like an entitled prick for being so angry, but actually, dude, it's so agonizing to just sit there. Oh my god. Klein's gonna tell Anderson and Dennis are gonna tell Gehrman where Tracy is, and my guy's gonna go do some. He's gonna go. No, wait, cooperation. He's probably gonna get paid more to do. Actually, Bullseye. Actually. Oh, that's so depressing. By like 5 orders of magnitude. Maybe 3. Okay. Cooperation. So Klein is probably gonna go threaten Tracy to call Katerina, and then he's probably gonna get info from her. Okay. At just past 6 in the morning, the entirety of Backland was dark. Wearing his pajamas, Klein sat on his bed and looked at Miss Messenger and said, Who sent the letter? Couldn't he have just have a good night's rest, Klein thought. The 3 heads of Raynette replied one by one, That particular brainless servant of yours. Damn it. He prayed in the middle of the night in the past, and now he's sending letters? Klein took a deep breath and opened the letter. When he opened it, his expression turned solemn because Danitz and Anderson had discovered Tracy's location. But it was extremely untimely. According to Klein's deductions, it wouldn't take long for the pirate admiral and Katerina to regain their freedom. They wouldn't be hiding much, making it easier to find them. Now that they had dealt with the intelligence peddler, Bart, and obtained the items to contact Tracy, the greatest possibility was they had frightened the target. Of course, Klein could continue seeking the help of Bernadette to lock onto Tracy through the mirror, but the problem was that he suspected the target's hiding place was an important stronghold of the Demoness sect. It might even be a headquarters where Grade Zero sealed artifacts were. This way, even if he had confirmed the whereabouts, he wouldn't dare to just head over there. And if he didn't take the opportunity to contact her, regardless of whether Bartz was dead or alive, the news would spread. This is because Anderson and Danitz don't know the truth. They don't know the changes of the situation in the Lone Kingdom. Klein then said to Messenger, "Wait for me, I'll write a reply." He had planned to just teleport over to decide what to do next, but then he chose to write a letter. After he carefully believed that Zaratul wouldn't waste time on the obvious bait like Danitz, he believed that he should still be more careful. If Zaratul didn't do so, it didn't mean that the members of the secret order under him wouldn't be the same. Such a huge organization would definitely have a few demigods, and once he got entangled by the other party, it would be a problem. Alright, the head carried by Reinette Heinker that had failed to speak previously rushed out to answer first. I love how all the heads are in like rotation, like, hey, we all get to say one word, you motherfuckers, don't try to take my turn. Klein got out of bed, walked out of the bedroom, and went to the room outside. He took a pen and paper and wrote, "Think of a way to make Bartz faint until dawn, then leave his room immediately and stay far away. There's a great danger lurking. Monitor Bartz again when daybreak arrives, but do not alarm him." The so-called danger was a half-truth. His main target was to get Anderson and Danitz to leave the scene, so as to draw away any possible spies. Putting down the pen, Klein folded the letter and handed it to the Miss Messenger. At 3:10 in the morning, Theros Island, Bart's room. Danitz had just finished clearing the altar and wiping away the traces when he saw the messenger return. Gehrman didn't come. Danitz reached out to receive the letter in surprise. After the figure with the four heads disappeared, he opened the letter. "There's danger?" Danitz rushed out of the room like his ass was on fire. After leaving the cigarette, he said to Anderson, "Quick, let's go. It's dangerous here." "Did Gehrman say that?" Anderson asked. "Yeah. How do you know? Couldn't it be that I found something?" "You?" "You!" What else did it say? "Aren't you nervous? Gehrman is so reliable on such matters," Danitz asked. "His messenger is more reliable. At least within the few minutes of his messenger's return trip, there won't be any more danger. If there was any danger lurking here, he would silently shrink back when they saw the messenger." That's fair. That is a fucking angel. I wouldn't fuck with it. I don't think even an angel would see Miss Messenger and then take her head on. They'd be like, "Listen, I gotta go fight an angel to get to this fucking sequence 7? I'll just wait. Fuck it. It's not worth all that." He said Gehrman also said to let Bartz pass out till dawn so that we can monitor him when the sun rises. What does he want to do? There won't be any latent danger once the sun rises? Without waiting for Danitz to respond, Anderson turned around and entered the room. He took out a small metal bucket he took out a small metal bottle he carried with him and pulled out the stopper. He placed it at the tip of Bartz's nose and moved it back and forth. "All right, it's done. Let's go." They then walked far into the distance. Backland, Empressboro, inside the Hall family's luxurious villa. At 7:25, Audrey suddenly woke up from her dream. She dreamt of the boundless grey fog and of Mr. World asking her to hypnotize someone, making the target forget everything that happened the past 6 months, as well as the people who asked about a particular secret island. This can be used as a contribution towards the manipulator formula and characteristic. Mr. World said that he would donate £7,000 for the war efforts. Audrey got out of bed very lightly and put on a teal cloak over her white nightgown. Following that, she followed Gehrman's instructions and set up a ritual praying for Mr. Fool's bestowment. The illusory door quickly took shape and opened, sending 3 items flying out and landing on the altar. One of them was a human skin glove, and the other was an instruction manual on a piece of paper. The other was a neat stack of cash. "This is creeping hunger?" Audrey scrutinized. She then put on the glove and, according to the instruction manual, activated the spirit of a traveler. Oh, that's so cool. Then the glove turned transparent. The 12 sacred angels with fiery wings appeared in front of her. This is the angel's embrace that Mr. Wold requested. Its effects is to interfere with divination and prophecy powers and ensure that my identity isn't exposed. She then followed the coordinates given by Gehrman and began teleporting. During this process, strange scenes of the spirit world and all kinds of strange creatures left a deep impression on her, but before she could observe them, she arrived at her destination. She saw that the colors were saturated, and the stacked scenes rapidly faded away. It feels like I've recovered my feelings and mood from when I first entered the mysterious world, Audrey analyzed. She then saw on her target laying down on the ground. It was an unconscious man. The door to his body of heart and mind was rather weak, meaning that he was someone who could easily be charmed. Hypnotizing such targets was no difficulty for Audrey, but in order to digest her potion, she decided to use dreams to help with the hypnosis. Audrey's a dream walker now? What's her sequence called? Yeah, Dreamwalker. Okay. The unconscious Bart had a dream. He dreamed of a blurry female figure. In his dreams, he believed that she was the most beautiful woman in the world. Bart wildly chased after her as he ran back and forth in the wilderness, hills and mountains, but he couldn't catch her. After an unknown period of time, he woke up from exhaustion and slowly recalled what happened last night. He was in a bad mood because of him losing money. He fell asleep after drinking half a bottle, and now his head was hurting. Ramiro, how's it going, man? I even knocked the back of my head. Bart rubbed the swollen area and then fell back asleep. As for Audrey, who had completed a milder form of hypnosis with the Dreamwalker powers, she had long followed Gehrman's instructions and restored the scene completely. This was the ability of a senior spectator. She then teleported back to Backland and sacrificed creeping hunger to Mr. Fool. The entire process didn't cause much of a stir. The Church of the Evernight Beyonders in charge of protecting the Hall family were unaware. Audrey has come such a long way. She's able to fool like official Beyonders so easily. I'm gonna need more context, Romero, because did you fight back? Did you hit girls? I'm so curious. After dealing with all kinds of traces, Audrey pulled a bell and let the maidservants enter. Miss, there's a piece from the Bursary Foundation, Annie said. What news? That Miss Eudora, who needed to have her leg amputated, has completely recovered. It was as though she was never injured. It's a miracle. Audrey was stunned, but she had some guesses. But she didn't dare confirm them. Also, the patients with serious mental conditions have fully recovered. At this point, Annie couldn't control herself. I heard that there was a ghost wandering around, half of its face filled with mushrooms growing all over, and the other half growing with weeds. It ate illnesses, trauma, and grief. I don't know if it's true, but it's terrifying. Mushrooms? Weeds? Audrey was at a loss. Bizarre. Bizarro sorcerer! The plot thickens! Okay, give me Mom's birthday yesterday. My 4 childhood friends showed up. I was the only guy. Okay, and you were getting harassed? Okay, give me 1 second. I just need to grab something from my nightstand. I'm here. I'm here. Okay. I was suffering? Oh, it's not that bad. Don't be a freaking baby. The chapter title is cut off. They're not cultured people. What is cultured people to you, Romero? What does someone need to have read to be considered cultured in the eyes of Romero? Okay. Seeing that her mistress was interested in the ghost tale, Annie glanced at the other maids and continued, "The doctors and nurses wished to invite the church's bishop to host a mass, but the remaining patients objected. They looked forward to meeting that ghost. They all called it the clown angel." That would be a good title for Klein to have. Well, I guess Mr. Fool is his title, so I guess he can't have that one. For Gehrman to have the clown angel would be pretty good then. I could live with that. That's a good title. That's a really good title. No, Kami. I think they're just not. YouTube doesn't find them important enough, I guess. Hold on, let me put it to live chat. Maybe they're not. Okay. Cultured people are people that watch gore to goon. So. They said that its terrifying appearance resembles a specially dressed clown, but in fact it's an angel who can resolve pain. That title is interesting, Audrey said. If it were in the past, she definitely would be very interested in this, perhaps eager to make a trip to the hospital to find out the so-called clown angel. But with the sudden eruption of the war, she was depressed. She felt that there was too much stuff happening. Bro, 10 CPs give me a whole count. In fact, if she hadn't experienced the air raid herself and seen those who were injured, she would definitely feel like a war wasn't happening over the past few days, and that Backland was peaceful. This was because after the air raid, the airship fleet of the Lone Kingdom had been roped into the war efforts. The air defenses of the coastal cities had been raised, and Backland didn't suffer another attack. Currently, the battle between Faceak and Lone was mainly held in 3 places. Winter County's Amantha Mountain Range, the heavy industry metropolitan area along the Midseashire east coast, and the few harbors along the Sonia Sea coast. Music change? To what, Kami? Good God. By the way, I went to a doctor on Sunday. Turns out I have mild bronchitis. That's what all this bullshit is. Vanitas or something? Sounds good. Furthermore, they were in a deadlock with no one gaining an advantage. Even if there were casualties, it didn't have a material impact. Other than the rise in commodity prices and the addition of several editorial pieces in the newspaper, the city seemed to have restored peace. However, Audrey didn't think so. Her father and brother had been busy with work recently, often returning late at night or convening private gatherings with a group of nobles. Member of Parliament and clergy, or convening a private gathering with a group of nobles, member of Parliament and clergymen. Through the other charity organizations and the Church of the Evernight, she learned of the exact number of casualties on the front lines. She even saw some photos of the battlefield. She was working hard to gather funds, contacting various companies and hospitals, hoping she could organize help and treatment needed in the war efforts. Who would have thought that crazy adventurer would have not only offered excess food, but has even donated £7,000? Audrey secretly sighed. I feel like Audrey's starting to slightly fancy Gehrman. Is that crazy? South of the bridge, Rose Street, Emlyn casually donated £10 to the charity organization's solicitor. He then walked up the stairs, entering the Harvest Church. Godzilla, how's it going? At this moment, there were no believers in the cathedral. Father Utravsky, who looked like a half-giant, sat at the front praying. Is Clinker a real slur now? It's not a slur, okay? They're not people. They're not people, okay? But hell yeah, Clinker is a slur, and fuck yeah, we use it. Goddamn. Those goddamn clankers. You know, I had to call down and I had to talk to a goddamn clanker, and I said, no, put me through to a damn human now. Weirdly enough, I'm not gonna lie, I'm super pro-robot just because I think those who are prone to, like, racism or whatever, like, will actually let it go because they'll be like, okay, listen, like, you know, like I may not like a person of a certain race or whatever, but like, dude, a person of that race is way better than a fucking robot, okay? And like, you know how, like, you know the whole bullshit of like a threat from external will make all the internal parties self-aligned, so to speak. It's kind of like that. I feel like it kind of be based for that reason. Emlyn was in no hurry to change into his priest robes. He sat beside the priest and wanted to say something, but he ended up scoffing. That's not what I expected. Dr. Z, hey, how's it going? It must be your typical face-ack appearance and figure that made those believers fearful of coming over, Emlyn said. I can understand them, Bishop Utravsky opened his eyes. What's the point of understanding them? If the war gets more rushed and the number of soldiers who die increase more and more, the believers might rush in here and burn the cathedral and hang you to death. Nah, racists will definitely think robots are better than humans they don't like. I don't think so, Kami. I don't think so. I think again, it's like this is a known concept, right? Like internal factions will like I think this is an old Arabic saying. I think it's like I think the saying goes, me against my brother, me and my brother against my cousin, me and my cousin against the world. So it's like we will quibble internally, but as soon as someone external comes, it's like, who the fuck is that guy? Right? So it's like humans will like fight amongst themselves, but like if there's an external threat, we're like, yo, you're actually kind of fine. That guy, that was fucked, you know? So I don't think so. Father Utravsky shook his head. No, they won't. They believe in the Earth Mother sincerely. They won't burn the cathedral. At most, they will banish me. If I express that I've given up my Faceac nationality, there will be people who understand. What if Fainapotter joins the war and attacks Desi Bay? What if the Church of the Earth Mother calls our clergymen to arms and becomes enemies with Lone? Are you going to obey the order of the Church and abandon the believers here? Or pretend that you know nothing? Praise the Omnis. Ramiro is siding with the clankers. We need to get rid of this guy. Or are you going to pretend you don't know anything? Continue promoting how precious life is, how joyous the harvests are? Or will you organize those believers to make them enemies of their own kind? Bishop Utravsky slowly looked up at the sacred life emblem above the altar, not saying anything. Emlyn didn't bring up any more questions as he fell silent like the priest. The entire church fell silent. Like, you see what I mean? This is so fucking... like, it's so well done. A small character like Father Utravsky is so fleshed out now. It's like this guy he's despite the fact that his faith externally is so strong and he shows like no cracks in his exterior and he's like stern in his belief, internally he has to be struggling with that, right? Like shit, dude, like I am an outsider in this land and we're at war. He's like internally struggling with it and you're like, what the fuck? And you're like, Father Utravsky, this fucking guy who got like 3 chapters worth of fucking actual important stuff and then he got mentioned occasionally, this guy's getting this much fucking treatment? What a cuttlefish. My goat, dude. On the colonial island, Audrey, who hadn't had a chance to return to Passu Island, didn't leave his ship due to the principles of being cautious. He only sent his sailors to gather information. Captain, there's still no news about mustering us, as a sailor reported to Alger. Alger waved his hand and dismissed the subordinate. He frowned. The church doesn't seem to care about this war. From what Alger knew, this was likely an intense war that would cover a huge scale. As the victim of an invasion, the Church of Lord of Storm would mobilize all its strength to defeat the enemy, including the captains who were scattered across the seas. But at this moment, Audrey had yet to receive orders. This didn't mean that the church was slacking off. The activity of the church's forces amongst the lone military and the air raid drills it was involved in various major cities, and the activities of the demigods implied that the church was seriously resisting the invasion. It just wasn't going all out. Could it be because it's still early? The church wants to preserve a portion of its strength for a critical moment? Captain, there seems to be some kind of monster hiding on this island. Many pirates say that they encountered a terrifying situation where they went out to piss after drinking too much. Some were violently slapped by a branch of trees, and others saw fruits growing out of their bodies. One was filled with flesh and blood, and some of them encountered ghostly figures with wheat faces. Did Klein just pop by with the fucking life cane to scare these people? That's what I feel like happened. Alder nodded. Don't go out at night. What a good answer. After such paranormal tales started in back London Prince Harbour, Klein never went to those hospitals again, afraid that he would meet Zaratul's marionettes. With the creeping hunger and the ability to travel, the Clown Angel. That's such a good name, dude. I really hope, Gehrman or... Yeah, I guess it would have to... I feel like Gehrman is by far the persona that has gotten the most fleshing out. Possibly because it's also the world. So Klein has to do all his Tarot Club stuff through it. But, so I feel like the world should be, like, the Clown Angel. That's a good title. Klein knew that this was the result of Zaratul's... what? With creeping hunger and the ability to travel, he had expanded his range for creating terrifying tales. Sometimes he would be at Sonia Sea, and other times at Fogsea. He would go to Lenberg, Fainapotter, East and West Balam, the Highlands and the Valley. He abided by no rules and relied solely on momentary inspiration. During this process, Klein felt an inexplicable feeling. In this terrifying darkness, invisible tentacles extended out occasionally, either searching for him or attempting to predict his movements so as to intercept him. They were cold and silent, and if they entangled him, the consequences were unimaginable. Who the fuck what? What are these tentacles? Klein for real on a run from sequence 1. This is how Pala, Zoroast, and Will Ossepton feel every day. But in fairness, they are both sequence 1s themselves, so that I'm sure it helps a little bit. Klein knew that this might be the result of Zaratul's search. The best solution was to temporarily stop acting and lay low. But it also gave the subtle feeling that made him want to digest his potions soon. Hence, he made use of the Grey Fog's powers. Every time he remotely chose a target location, he would go above the Grey Fog to divine the danger level and use paper angels to interfere. Bro, can you imagine? Zaratul's got to be ripping his fucking hair out. Because if he's trying to find... if that's, let's say, Zaratul trying to find Klein, can you imagine how fucking pissed he's gotta be? He's like, how the fuck is a sequence 4 evading me so well? Because, like, Klein has the Grey Fog, and all Zaratul can think is, bro, I'm divining! How is this motherfucker getting away? He's got... wait. Oh, wait, the Jinxie meme for this. The Jinxie meme.
right hand on the Bible, God can strike me down if I'm lying? That motherfucker's cheating! Take my word!
Zaratul's gotta be losing his fucking mind. He's like, bro, I'm divining. How? Oh my god. He's gotta want to kill himself. He's like, bro, all that time in Foggy Town, I'm cooked. I'm washed out. I'm like washed up. It's over. I should give up. At this moment, with a huge progress in his digestion, he teleported to Kokawa, which was in the northern state of West Balam. This was where he had killed Ince to avenge himself and the captain. My go! Sorry, every time we talk about killing Ince, we gotta talk about how goated Klein is. Okay. The moment his figure appeared in the square, he felt something amiss. The residence that belonged to May Sanchez was too quiet. It felt a chill down his spine. May Sanchez was a native general that bought arms from Dwayne. He was a beyond of the death pathway. What the hell happened? Klein frowned, as he considered whether he should enter to confirm. After all, this was his partner. Furthermore, yes. Vanitas. Oh wait, I just realized I didn't even put music back on since I do. Thank you, Kami. Furthermore, if he were to encounter an enemy that wasn't weak, it would be a good opportunity for him to act. After doing a self-analysis, he believed that if he could use a saint-level demigod as the main lead and create a few more horror tales, his potion would be digested for the most part. Bit louder? Oh, sorry. Hold on. Let me know if that's better. I can adjust it more as needed. Fine now? Okay, fantastic. Of course, the prerequisite is that everything is okay. I have to be careful and cautious. Klein made Quanos Kilgore transform into Dwayne, and he took out a gold coin. This time, he revealed that his revelation revealed there was no danger. Strange. Klein didn't let down his guard as he turned his body incorporeal before becoming a shadow that disappeared in the shadow of night. As for his marionette, Quanos slowly entered the May Sanchez manor. This was his ability to hide in the shadows that creeping hunger provided itself. As for the other marionette, Inuni, he was standing a kilometer away. As for the few rats that belonged to the marionette, they were spaced out nearly a kilometer from each other. Oh, that's cool. Klein has like several escape points, like in like basically every cardinal direction a kilometer away. He's like, bro, if I got up to just pop out, we can do that. Soon, Dwayne arrived in front of the general's residence and activated his spirit body threads. What entered his vision were black illusory threads that were grown in a messy fashion. They seemed to come from different people, but also had similar auras. Some normal spirit body threads didn't exist at all. In a few seconds of silence, Dwayne extended his right hand and pushed open the door. The scene inside was different from what he remembered. The pillars were covered in golden foil. The golden sculptures on the wall and the gorgeous stairs were now rolled into a bunch like a huge porcupine with golden spikes growing out of it. On the ground, there were sharp stone pillars and shattered glass everywhere. Apart from these, there were more illusory bookshelves in the hall that didn't appear real. There were pools of black shadows hidden in the different spots on the bookshelf as they curled and stretched like eyes from time to time. As the door opened, the pool of liquid-like shadows suddenly came alive and produced the same sound. It's you! My prediction was right. You are the one who can help me out of my conundrum. Okay, I remember. I remember there was a guy from the from like May Sanchez's club who met Gehrman and was like, "Oh, you're the demigod backing him." Okay, I received a revelation. I would meet someone who would help me in recent times. Oh, a prophet, yes. No, Kami, I think I knew that. Because I know... No, I think I knew that. I think I did. I'm like 90% sure it is. Upon hearing the words of the pool of the black shadows, a figure appeared in Klein's mind. It was an elder with a white robe and inlaid brass lines. His hair was completely white and combed. He claimed to be a member of the Church of Knowledge. He claimed to be a member of the Church of Knowledge and was in charge in matters regarding West Balam and had a close relationship with May Sanchez. Back then, he had paid a visit to Duane, giving the excuse for having predicted that it would be a troublesome situation and that someone he met in this time would help him solve a problem. After some thought, he slowly recalled, Luca Brewster? Yes, it's me. You actually still remember me. In different parts of the bookshelf, a pool-like liquid grew out of the shadows. Their voices were no longer uniform, they were layered on top of each other, echoing endlessly. Even though he was separated by his marionette, Klein's ear still rang. This isn't normal. It contains a certain inclination towards losing control or mental corruption. The bookshelves themselves are a form of reflection. As Klein thought this, he saw the black shadows that were curling and extending from time to time voice up. Sorry, I was too agitated just now and couldn't control myself. What did you encounter? How did you end up like this? Klein asked. The adjudicator of the Fena Potter military, Bella Costa, and the Church of the Earth Mother Archbishop, Martina, jointly attacked us, with their main target being me. I had no choice but to activate my mythical creature form and make them retreat. Seeing as you entered without noticing anything, you must have teleported here. You're also a demigod. You should know that once you reveal your mythical creature form, it won't be easy for you to return. I was affected by the inclination towards going insane and nearly lost control. Fortunately, I was once a mysticism magister and mastered many strange but effective mystical arts. Hence, I sealed myself to an extent at a critical moment and ended up like this. Mysticism Magister. Do I have this name? Sequence 5 of the reader pathway. Okay, cool. The reader's mythical form is transforming into a library. Sorry, Ramiro, I read that. I apologize. That is funny though. That is funny. I was just thinking that this would be a very troublesome conundrum, and I was wondering if there was a person who could help me solve. I'm so glad you're here. This proves my prediction. He really is a demigod who's determined to see his prediction succeed. If I were to turn around and leave at this moment... Wait, reader... yeah. No, yeah, he's probably kind of fair. That's probably a skill issue. That's fair. Prophet. Mystical form of fucking library. By the way, yes, I have that in my notes, Dr. Z. Merlin, how's it going, man? How you doing? He really is a demigod who's determined to see his predictions succeed. If I were to turn around and leave him, would he just have a breakdown? Klein lampooned. The Phaenopotter military and the Church of the Earth Mother had begun taking action. He then got his marionette Quanos to take out a gold coin and flick it. From what he knew, the clergymen of the seven churches were focused on maintaining order and ensuring the safety of their believers. From this point of view, it was impossible for Luca to be a devil or a demon. As for the impression that Vice Admiral Iceberg and Detective Isengard Stanton gave, it made him feel that the Church of Knowledge wasn't too bad. He felt that other than the habitual discrimination against people with low intelligence and those who weren't fond of studying, there was nothing wrong with their actions. I mean, that's just they're just basically recommending eugenics, but I mean, yeah, if Klein's okay with that, I guess. Klein then flipped the coin and didn't look at the result and mumbled, "How can I help you?" I don't know either, the Black Shadows said. Why don't I suggest turning you into my marionette, Klein lampooned. His thoughts raced as he began thinking of a different way to solve Luca's problem. To be honest, his seriousness towards helping Luca wasn't just because of his good impression, but also because of his interest that could help him. Firstly, there was an inkling of a god of knowledge and wisdom existence in the matter of Grozel's travel. At present, he was unable to determine the true god's goal. He felt that showing some goodwill might lead to some good surprises. Secondly, if Rozel's return really happened, the attitude of the god of knowledge and wisdom was rather important. From the Red Angel evil spirit's tone and manner, Klein could make a preliminary judgment. Compared to the Fourth Epoch, the seven deities of the present era had a drastic change in attitude towards the appearance of the Black Emperor. Their reaction wasn't as intense as before. They were more inclined to tacitly approve, even if the person wasn't their own candidate of choice. Under such circumstances, if Rozel was to return, the only ones who would be against it would probably be EBS or God of Steam and Machinery. After all, when Rozel perished, they were involved in the matter. Man. So we think there's a chance Rozel is alive, kind of, somehow, as a Black Emperor. That'd be so good. If they could stop him from becoming a new Black Emperor, or George III from becoming the new Black Emperor, Klein might somehow be able to talk to Rozel. Man, I'm telling you, if Klein can get, like, Rozel's info on deck, oh my god, this man becomes a fucking goes on demon time permanently. Bug, it would depend on what his honorific name is. Under such circumstance, nope, already. However, this objection wouldn't be too strong either. As long as Rozel's mental state was normal and he escaped the corruption and madness, there was a chance he was accepted. After all, the Black Emperor didn't have the problem of switching with the Sun or Savant pathway, so there was no direct conflict of interest. As for the original grudge, it wasn't too serious at the level of a deity. Of course, this was just a guess that Klein had made from his knowledge of mysticism. Other than the god of craftsmanship, the other 6 deities had been enemies with each other during the Solomon's First Empire. They had countless grudges, and had no choice but to rope in the Black Emperor back then to help. In the end, they still put these matters behind them. Not only that, but if he gets Rozel a god as a friend, that'd be crazy. Bro, we already have a god as a friend. What are you talking about, Khaled? We have the Fool. Our Lord. He's not. The Fool might not even be a god. The Fool might be a fucking super god. That guy's goated. He has stopped a true creator. You gotta remember, this is the guy who stopped the descent of the true creator as a sequence 8. That might be the most insane feat in Lord of the Mysteries of all time. Judge of Wisdom. Here's friends. Thank you, Dr. Z. I'll add that to my notes. I'm sure I have it, but it doesn't hurt to just have it a second time, you know? Do you think the true creators are super god? I mean, at this point, I don't even know. I feel like Everknight's close to being a super god now, but with that, I don't know. Maybe. Okay. Even the deities of neighboring pathways could coexist peacefully to a degree. As long as Roselle could be revived, then as someone who wasn't completely dead, the feud between him, EBS, and God of Steam and Machinery could be resolved. Of course, with his understanding of Roselle, it was only a matter of time before Roselle took revenge. As long as he wasn't crazy and wasn't forced into a corner, he could still understand the situation clearly and wait for an opportunity. Klein believed that they were the ones able to suppress EBS and the God of Steam and Machinery when they expressed their objections, and also made them tacitly agree to it, were Lord of Storm, God of Knowledge and Wisdom, because they and EBS were on the Beyonder pathways that could be interchanged. By the way, can I just say, I was thinking about this, how fucking cool it is that Klein is gonna foil the plan of George III, and it's gonna be for like a reason that George III couldn't even fucking fathom. Like, to someone like that, to like such a selfish fuck who thinks he's so above humans that he doesn't even like consider their values or consider their lives valuable in any way. Like, he'll kill as many humans as he needs to, like, for him to become God. For him, when he fucking fails becoming a god, and he is like talking to Klein, he's like, why would you do this? Because he's gonna think like, oh, like this guy wants to become a god instead of me. He's of the Black Emperor pathway, and Klein is gonna sit there and he's gonna go, you killed a friend of mine. And he's gonna go, who? He's gonna go, Old Kohler. And George III's gonna go, who the fuck is that? And Klein's just gonna put a bullet in his brain and be like, fuck you, bitch. Just leave it there. Like, it's gonna be such a fucking foreign concept to him. Like, Klein's basically gonna kill George III because of Old Kohler and that girl's sister and mom. I can't, Lizzie and something, I can't remember. But like, for those three people, this guy's gonna stop a fucking god. Because that's what Klein is like, nah. Like, you fundamentally fucked with, like, the value of human life. And I don't fuck with that. Nah. Freya and Liz. Thank you. Freya, yes. Like, I find that so, like, it's gonna be for a reason that George III can't even fucking comprehend, you know? Like, it would, like... Liz? Did I say live? Did I say live? I don't know. Whatever. I just find that so cool. Like, Klein's gonna, what a guy. I'm afraid that the corruption that stems from the cosmos isn't easy to resolve. The revived Roselle might end up an evil god, but such matters can only be dealt with at the time. Only by understanding the situation can one grasp the crux of the matter and decide whether to press the button at that moment. Humans can't stop because of worries with low odds. If that was the case, nothing can be done. What are the reactions of the various parties towards Roselle's return? How intense would they be? This would require me to wait and make further observations before I can use them. Before I can make the most acceptable solution for everyone. At the moment, causing damage during the ritual at the critical moment has the best chance of success. Klein asked, "How long can you last?" as he looked at the pool of shadows. 6, 7 minutes, Luca Brewster said. I thought you were going to say 7, 6, 5. Klein said, "I'll get you a psychiatrist." As he spoke, he retreated a few hundred meters out of the shadows and set up a ritual and sacrificed creeping hunger above the grey fog. After doing this, he sat on the fool's chair and conjured Gehrman's figure and made him do a simple prayer. At this moment, it was almost dawn, and Audrey was busy with charity work. Audrey, who had been busy with charity work, had yet to sleep. Treat a demigod who's shown signs of losing control? I'll get more merit points? Audrey put down the pen and got ready. Like the previous mission, I love how Audrey's like, "Bro, I'm becoming a fucking demigod in the next week, okay?" Like, okay, we're doing all these merit points now. Under the protection of the angel's embrace, she teleported to the Maysancha's manor. The difference this time was that due to her facing a demigod, not only was she wearing a mask, she had also used lie to adjust her figure, aura, and appearance. She then saw Mr. World. That demigod is broken down into a pool of black liquid. Try not to communicate with his body of heart and mind directly. This will infect you. If you can't treat him, I will lend you a characteristic. Let me give it a try first, Audrey said. She looked at the cloak, she tugged at her cloak covering her body, and cast her eyes on the bookshelves in the pool of black liquid. Thankfully, he hasn't truly lost control, Audrey said. Accompanied with her common powerful words, an invisible wind of placate began to blow. The frequency at which the pool of black liquid curled up and stretched began to decrease as the sense of anxiety weakened. Audrey used placate a few more times. It was only when Luca's mental state was stabilized did he have the ability to cooperate, that she got him to open his mind and receive treatment. She then took the opportunity to open the door to the demigod's body of heart and mind. She split her use of placate into multiple treatments during the process of purifying the corruption. She planted psychological cues, cueing Luca Brewster into believing that everything was fine, allowing him to converge his mythical creature form back into a human. The reason for splitting up the process was because if Audrey was affected by the slightest bit of corruption, she would immediately retreat and resolve her problems first. Clever. Finally, she completed the treatment and took a few steps back. Reading fast today? Fuck yeah, Godzilla. Godzilla, my plan was to not read today at all, because I saw Easy was going to do a long stream, and in my mind, even though I was like, damn, like he's gonna get closer, I was also like, fuck, like I get to sleep earlier today, I'll get a full night's sleep, like I'll be good. And then, and then Easy, after 5 chapters, was like, I'm feeling sleepy, guys, and I was like, fuck, oh, stream, god damn it. I don't know if I'm going to stream tomorrow, though. Please, Easy, do a long stream tomorrow so I have a good excuse not to stream, please. Your Excellency, you can remove your mythical creature form, Audrey said. The moment she said that, the illusory bookshelves in the hall vanished. The pool of black liquid gathered together like life, taking on a human form. The black colors quickly faded, turning back into Luca Brewster's original form. He sighed. Thank you very much. When I saw a Sequence 5 spectator, I thought I would be the main ingredient for her switching to another pathway. This old man's words are so direct. I don't even know how to respond. Klein turned his head to look at Audrey. He realized that her eyes were closed. Klein opened his mouth to respond to Luca. Don't worry, what you need now is a set of clothes. I know, right, Luvion? I was going to make a joke that, like, oh, I generally tend to get love later in the night anyway, but then I decided to let it go. Not really, because I said it. What kind of murder style do your hair? I just do whatever with my hair, Godzilla. It goes left, it goes right, it goes up, it goes down. It just fucking goes everywhere. I don't know. 1368. The year? Bro, this demigod better give Klein and Audrey something fucking real special, goddammit. Wait, no, not Audrey, because she's gonna get contribution points, fuck it. Luvion, you a bitch, bro. Luvion, you're such a bitch. That is entrapment, you motherfucker. Oh my god. Luca Brewster looked at himself and raised his right hand to grab something beside him. The gold that mixed with the staircase suddenly flew out and fused midair, forming a thin piece of armor that covered Luca. Luca stretched his arms and explained that as he took in the feedback, Stiano's golden armor art, its defensive capabilities are equivalent to that of a Sequence 5 Guardian. Stiano? Klein asked. One of the earliest founders of the Moses Ascetic Order. I heard that Roselle had previously modified this armor, a golden armor art. I wonder what kind of effects it can produce. Roselle? Card of Blasphemy? I can roughly imagine. Maybe this armor has 12 different styles. I don't know what that references. Klein then changed the topic on hand. Will Phaenopotter and Church of Earth Mother join the war? When Luca introduced the golden armor, Audrey opened her eyes and turned her head in a controlled manner. Saint say, oh, Saints. Oh, I see. Okay. Luca sighed. Regardless of what they were thinking previously, they'll join the war tonight. Of course, they won't target Lone for the time being. Fuck, what's Utravsky gonna do? He's cooked. Of course, they won't target Lone for the time being. There's a high chance they will attack either Lenberg, Mason, or Seagar. It's to prevent an extended battlefront from making too many enemies, which would prevent them from them being able to concentrate their strength. Furthermore, the Church of the Earth Mother might not be willing to exert too much strength. After sighing, this demigod from the Church of Knowledge earnestly said to Audrey, "What kind of fee should I pay you?" Audrey glanced at Mr. World and said, "He has already paid." Luca's gaze shifted to Dwayne. "Let me ask a few questions," Klein said. "Please, speak." At that moment, Luca didn't look like a demigod at all. Instead, he looked like a professor, waiting to answer his students' questions. Of course, if he could take his eyes off that golden armor and change it into a three-piece suit, the resemblance would be uncanny. "What do you know about the corruption from underground?" Klein asked. In his opinion, the Church of Knowledge was definitely the best place to ask such a thing. If it wasn't suitable for Miss Justice's ears, then he believed Luca would bring it up. As the discussion about the underground corruption stemmed from their experience of exploring the collective sea of subconscious, Audrey had a certain understanding. At that moment, it didn't feel as though she didn't understand anything. She was focused on waiting for the demigod to answer. Luca frowned slightly and said, "I don't know much about it. It's as though just knowing about it will result in corruption in and of itself. I've seen a sentence in an ancient book, the higher the sequence, the more dangerous it is to be closer underground." So Ankh-Vault felt an extreme trauma from some kind of fear down there, Audrey thought. She then looked at Mr. World. Klein made his marionette nod slightly, so as to tell Miss Justice that the connections he made were same as hers. By the way, I haven't seen it, but I heard the One Piece opening that came out today, yesterday, one of these days, whatever, is like an amazing opening, so I gotta check that out later. The stronger, the more dangerous it is. What a fucked up world. The rich get richer. Or sorry. More money, more problems, I guess, is a much more accurate way. Sorry. This made Audrey feel like she had returned to the past. Back then, she was a low-sequence beyonder of the spectator pathway. There was no way she could decipher any useful information from Mr. World. The higher the sequence, the greater the threat? That makes no sense. Klein then said, second question, what prophecy do you have regarding the war? It's only the beginning. It's far from reaching its peak. Although a greater portion of the damage stems from the war, it will also present beyond the war. I don't know what it is exactly, though. The war has just begun. Audrey's heart sank. This stems from war and is beyond the war and is beyond war. Is this the apotheosis ritual of Adam, or the advancement of Black Ritual, or perhaps the return of Roselle? Klein nodded. Have you heard of the prophecy of the apocalypse? How do you interpret it? No, it is not a prophecy. Anyone with the ability to predict the future is certain that the apocalypse will come. God only mentioned it in his holy Bible that the apocalypse will happen in the year 1368 in the fifth epoch. God also said there would be a savior. A savior? My go, Klein Moretti? Yeah, don't worry, Dr. Z. I'm gonna just copy all the stuff later, okay? Like at the end of the chapter I will. It's not, okay. There's only about 10 years left. Could the goddess's act of destroying the alliance between the god of combat to control the uniqueness of death have something to do with the apocalypse? It'll be the apocalypse in about 10 years, Audrey mumbled. To be honest, she felt it was fake. It was used by people who pretended to be mysticism experts and religious cheats, so as to deceive the people and earn money through that. I'm 100% certain that you have 0% chance to figure out who the savior is on your own. Okay, by when do I have to get it, Godzilla? Like, do I have to get it by the ending of Lord of the Mysteries? Or do I have to get it by the end of COI? Let me ask you that. If it's the ending of Lord of the Mysteries, I've got... Don't answer? Fuck. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Okay. I feel like if you gave me 5 guesses, I could do it. By the end of this chapter, you're profoundly stupid. You're stupid, bitch. Why 1368? Klein couldn't help but ask. I don't know either. That's just what the prophecy says. It was as though he was only sequence 4, making not have the ability to resist the apocalypse. Klein ended the topic and said, that shall be all. That's it? No, Dr. Z, no hints. I'm saying, like, if I get 5 guesses, you guys just give me yes or no answers. Like obviously if I get it in 3, then you tell me. But you don't tell me who it is. Seeing a pic of the northern continent that'll help you visualize the war better. Yes, thank you, Romero. Okay. Give me some time. I'll think about it. Okay. What he really wanted to ask were things that the other party probably didn't know. Matters like the corruption that stemmed from the cosmos, or whether Roselle could return, or what his state was. Luca nodded. In the future, if there's anything you need help with, you can come to me. For the details, you can find them through Edwina. Vice Admiral Edwina? Audrey glanced at the world. She remembered that she had read an article before containing the story of Gehrman and 3 female pirate admirals. Alright. After he nodded at Justice Audrey, Luca's figure rapidly turned transparent. He and then disappeared. Looking at the spot, can I just say, Klein got fucking nothing to help this fucking guy. Right now, he got nothing. He could have like asked for like a sequence, it's grade 1 sealed artifact or something, and this guy would have given it to him. And this guy just got nothing. Like, he's like, hey, the underground. The underground's scary. Oh well, fuck me, genius. Thank you, didn't think of that. The prophecy. Oh, it's not a prophecy. Oh well, fuck me, genius. Didn't think of that. Like, oh my, get me the fuck out of here. What a fucking charlatan, this guy. Klein then made his marionette look at Audrey. I thought it would be a little more troublesome. That saint had saved himself in time and was willing to trust me. Audrey smiled. This will be taken into account. Go back as soon as possible. It is very dangerous here. Seeing that a demigod had nearly lost control, Audrey had no doubts about the danger. Mr. World warned her, and she immediately used creeping hunger and teleported back. She then sacrificed the glove to Mr. Fool and settled the matter. And soon, the eldest son, Hibbert, returned home. What if the prophecy is fake? It was a sequence 4 doing all this? Based. He did digest the potion by making him think he's gonna become a characteristic. Oh, maybe. Oh, because it's bizarre that he would get the help of a sequence 5. Yeah, maybe. I feel like the apocalypse has to do something with ASG. I feel like that motherfucker has got to come back. I feel like, listen. I feel like ASG is like mimicking God, okay? Hear me out. So, first, the original creator, okay? Which is, let's call it Yahweh, that's God. And then, like, Jesus arrives, or the true creator, and then he dies, and he gets betrayed by one of his follower, Judas, or in this case the 3 of those fuckers, right? He dies, but Jesus is slated to come back in the rapture. At least that's what the Christians think. I don't fucking know. Okay, so I think. It has the prophecy has something to do with ASG coming back or something. I feel like it's like a 1-to-1 with Jesus. Motherfucker is he's trying to be very on the nose. Just as Audrey was about to head to meet her father and chat with him, she heard her mother, Lady Catelyn, ask, "Did something happen? You came back a lot later than scheduled today." Earl Hall sighed. Faina Potter has invaded Lenberg. Extra, Faina Potter invades Lenberg. Leonard, who was wearing his red gloves, got off the carriage and saw a paperboy. He stopped the paperboy and took out a penny and bought the newspaper and flipped through it. Perhaps it won't be long before the South becomes a battlefield, he said. That's right, Palazoro echoed. So why am I still in Backland? Leonard muttered. After becoming a spirit warlock, he had become a captain of a Red Glove team. The members had been transferred from other teams, including the familiar faces of Cindy and Bob. I never thought of that analogy. But, like, you see what I mean, right, Dr. Z? It's like, it seems like it's a damn near perfect 1-to-1. And I don't think that's by accident. And, like, Cuttlefish isn't exactly subtle. Like, he'll take references and he'll do it shamelessly. Not in, like, a bad way. Just, like, you know, he'll wear it on his sleeve. You hop it on? Nah, devil, I gotta go to sleep, bro. I was gonna play when I thought I wasn't gonna stream, so I was gonna play for like 2 hours or 3 hours or something, but now that fuck. So ticked. God damn it, easy. After the war broke out, 1100 is a cliffhanger. If you wanna end right after this, fuck that. After the war broke out, Leonard originally thought his team would be transferred to the Holy Cathedral so as to participate in the battle at the Amantha mountain range. To his surprise, he was arranged to be used as a reserve force for the Backland Diocese. For this large city, due to its implementation of nighttime curfew and other emergency policies, its security was good, and there weren't that many Beyonders who came out to cause destruction. Even the devils who like to murder didn't create chaos. It made Leonard rather free. I have a guess, Palazoro smiled. What guess? Leonard asked. I'm not telling you. Leonard didn't say anything. He straightened his collar and walked into the cathedral. He then went underground and pushed open the door to his Red Glove's temporary office. "Good morning, Captain." Bob and Cindy all stood up and bowed. Upon hearing their greeting, Leonard, who was already a little used to it, was once again in a daze. In the blink of an eye, it was Monday afternoon. Leonard arranged for his team to go on separate missions. He then found a lounge to wait for the gathering to begin. Nice. One book. The Bible? I'm sorry, we're going really big with the Bible references today. I feel like your scope of thought is too small. You know what? I have a small brain. I don't know what to tell you, Godzilla. I am but a man. Sag. Oh, yeah. Really, Godzilla? I feel like the Tarot Club has gotten more and more important as the book progresses. I feel like the tarot gathering has become so much more important. Above the grey fog, red beams of light shot out from both sides of the bronze table. Audrey immediately stood up, lifted her skirt and curtsied. "Good afternoon, Mr. Fool." She wasn't in a bad mood, but after everything that had happened, she couldn't keep her spirits up like before. All the members bowed and took their seats. Almost instantly, Audrey discovered that Ma'am Hermit's mental state and body indicated she was worried. Something to do with Queen Mystic or other problems? Both factors? After so many tarot gatherings, she had long drawn a psychological portrait of Ma'am Hermit. She believed that she was a rather contradictory beyonder. Experienced, knowledgeable, and calm, but also bold, reckless in certain aspects, like a young girl yet to mature. Combined with the relationship between the other party and Queen Mystic, Audrey's interpretation of this analysis was that although Ma'am Hermit had experienced a lot, she managed to resolve many problems successfully with Queen Mystic's protection and arrangement, but deep in her heart, she was still a young girl who yearned to be loved and cared for. Classic mommy issues. No, classic daddy issues, rather, sorry. It was precisely, both? Orphan issues, is that a thing? It was precisely within such a concealed state that Audrey boldly made a guess. When facing someone who had been abandoned and one who didn't commit any mistakes, she would unknowingly show mercy and pity them. At the same time, due to her being a woman who was active at sea with the strength of a sequence 5, Audrey believed that if she casually flipped through the wanted posters and newspapers, she would be able to confirm Ma'am Hermit's identity without a doubt. Nah, she got mom. That's a good way to put it, Kami. Not her mom, so. No, Ma'am Hermit should already be a demigod, so there shouldn't be too many things for her to be worried about. It's definitely not the war. It's impossible for such a pirate to be troubled over it. Audrey had no way to guess. At this moment, there were two matters echoing in Catlay's mind. Why did Her Majesty send so many diary pages? If I hadn't become a mysticologist and grasped certain secrets, I wouldn't have been able to memorize all of them so quickly. What the hell happened? That fellow Frank really doesn't want to hold a ritual and wanted to directly consume the potion. Thankfully, I stopped him. Oh, I love that. I love that Frank is like, no, I don't have the time. No ritual. Well, I'm just going to raw dog the potion. I'll be fine. I want to be really clear. Frank could drink the potion with no ritual. He'd be fine. His soul lines up perfectly with that pathway, okay? He would have no madness at all. Being aware of the behavior and physical structure of various ordinary animals and 3 extraordinary creatures. The Druid ritual. Not that hard at all. As a crazy biologist, he had done this way in advance by trying to crossbreed plenty of animals and plants. Next week? No, he will become a druid in the next 2 days. Frank is the madness. Amidst her thoughts, Cattleya shelved her concerns and said, Mr. Fool, I found an entire book of Roselle's diary pages this time. An entire book? Everyone in the Tarot Club was stunned. Did something happen? Even though he was the least concerned, the son had noticed something unusual. They all knew that Bernadette was the eldest daughter of Roselle. It was normal for her to be able to provide an entire entry, but it was so weird to give an entire book. She then continued, these pages aren't connected. They all originated from Roselle's later years. Oh my god. Kami, you were right. This is such a bad place to leave it. It's gonna leave me in the middle of like, Mr. Dower was actually secretly fucking hidden away by the Evernight goddess because she feared his sheer strength or some bullshit. I'm gonna go, Very good, Klein nodded. One page after another, the slightly yellow pages of the diary took shape and stacked into a book. After receiving it, he flipped through it. He put down the diary and said, you can raise your question now to Cattleya. Including the contributions you've accumulated, you can ask a total of 10 questions. 10. Klein hadn't read the diary carefully. There were too many pages right now. There were at least 30 pages to read. It would require the Tarot Club members to wait for so long. Affecting Mr. Fool's image, therefore, he planned to read it slowly. 10? Cattleya immediately felt a headache. This was because there were only 2 questions that Queen Mystic had. Mr. Fool, can we split the questions into multiple sessions? Sure, Klein nodded. This was convenient for what he wanted as well. There are 2 questions this time, Cattleya heaved a sigh of relief. First, why does one need to be careful of the spectator? Be careful of the spectator. Audrey wore a blank look. For a moment, she couldn't find any leads as to what the hell was happening. The fool, Klein chuckled and leisurely said, a spectator always likes to hide in the shadows and secretly control matters, making it difficult for others to notice him. In particular, one needs to be especially careful towards the angel of imagination, Adam. His apotheosis ritual is to consume the potion when the trend of the times follows what he has envisioned. The trend of the times follows what he's envisioned? Audrey couldn't help but ask Mr. Fool. Klein nodded and said, that's right. A war that sweeps the entire world is what Adam wants. The hanged man, Alger, Cattleya, and other members of the Tarot Club were bombarded by the information divulged by Mr. Fool. Their minds were incapable of the thought. Be it the apotheosis ritual or the trend of the times, they were such a high level. Suddenly, they vaguely understood the reason why the psychology alchemists were deeply involved in the royal family's conspiracy. And the members who knew of the Twilight Hermit Order further understood the essence of keeping the trend of the times on track. Only an existence at Mr. Fool's level can understand these secrets and participate in the corresponding game. Alger was increasingly eager to become a demigod. Alger, I really hope you become a demigod, my boy. He believed that this war would give him plenty of opportunities. He just didn't know if he could seize them. The members of the Tarot Club were silent as thoughts ran through their head. Klein let out an inexplicable sigh. This was because he had no way of stopping the war. It was only the matter of making George III's ritual fail. He could jump through some loops and stretch himself out to affect it slightly, but in this war, even if he was a Sequence 1 angel, there was no way he could affect the overall situation. Apart from Adam, who has spent more than 1,000 years arranging this plot, the rest of them, even the kings of angels, can only change certain things. Only a true deity can participate in the game truly. No wonder the Emperor said but that only by becoming a god can he protect those he wants to protect. The only thing I can do now is make preparations for the resistance in the Rorstad archipelago. He wasn't blindly opposing everything about the war. The education he had received in his previous life and what he had seen at the sea in East and West Bayam made him have a supportive attitude towards overthrowing colonial rule. To put it simply, what he didn't like and abhorred was unjust war. Sensing Mr. Fool's gaze, Katlia controlled her thoughts and said, secondly, where is the secret mausoleum that Emperor Roselle has yet been discovered? Secret mausoleum yet been discovered? Force became more focused as she felt that this was material for best-selling novel. Audrey and Aldrin, on the other hand, could sense something from this question. The eldest daughter of Roselle probably wasn't willing to accept her father's death and was searching for traces left behind by him, hoping to revive the Emperor. Of course, they couldn't eliminate the possibility that there were other important items in the mausoleum that could also be the Queen Mystic's goal. Roselle left behind a mausoleum? I wonder what's inside, Leonard and Geo thought. Klein was already prepared for this. He smiled and said, perhaps in the Fog Sea. In the primitive island, Roselle discovered, or the Abyss. Abyss. Emlyn felt his eyelids twitch. In the history of the Sanguine, there were many records of the Second Epoch devils wreaking havoc. Even when he read those materials after 1,000 years, he felt himself turn impetuous and become entangled by chaos. Derek had similar feelings, but didn't think too much about it. When reading certain documents, his mental state would become overexerted, and his mental state would be affected. This was common knowledge known by everyone in the City of Silver. So he had to first receive general education and listen to a teacher's recount. Abyss, Audrey and Geo repeated in their heads. In their daily lives, the abyss was an abstract concept synonymous with danger, pain, and corruption. They never expected it to exist. Oh, it fucking exists. God damn, boys, we're at 1100. We are now, 350 chapters from finishing the book? Is that right? 350? And that's kind of crazy. That is a little bit crazy. $342. Damn. That's not that many, man. That's not that many. What are your guesses for the Savior? What do you mean this? Oh, the Savior. Fuck. Do I have to do this right now? Can it take some time to think about it? Okay, how about this? I give you 5 right now, and then you give me a little bit of time, and then I'll think of 5. Okay, how about this? No, okay, we'll do this. Okay, I'll give you 5 right now. Do not confirm or deny any of them, okay? Because then otherwise, if I give 5 right now, you guys confirm or deny, and then I do 5 more, that'll be 10. That feels like a lot. So we'll do 5. I'll give you the 5 off the top of my head right now, and then I'll think about it more, and then I'll adjust my 5. How's that? Okay. So first one, obvious basic bitch, I have to go with Klein. Just feels obvious in some way. Feels like it's fair. Second, Adam. Goody two-shoes. Maybe fair. Three, out of nowhere, out of left field, no one's gonna see it. Switcheroo, left, right, juke everybody. Just keep your head down, bob and swaying. Amon. 4, Roselle. 5, ASG. Those are the 5 that come to my head immediately. Because, no one... Klein is obvious. Roselle is kind of obvious, but, doable. ASG is less obvious, kind of also doable. Adam is unlikely. Amon would be, a really cool... Okay, a fucking, left, right, keep your head down swaying, no problem. Oh, yes, the map that Romero sent. Yes. Not denying is such a hard task. I get it, Dr. Z. Okay. So this is the Load Kingdom. And Faina Potter entered the war. Right? Intes is Dan and Daly are the real saviors in our hearts, always. I totally agree, Bug. No arguments here, big boy. Okay. Okay. Church of God of Combat. Okay. So they're fighting with them. Backland is all the way over here. This is good because Backland is at least far. It's really far inland. It's not like some South Korea situation. I don't know if you guys... so the South Korean capital, Seoul, is literally 50 kilometers from the border of North Korea. It would be the easiest place to take. It'd be the first place they would take. It's really hard because it's obviously really well guarded, of course. But yeah, okay, at least it's really far inland. Faina Potter's also decently. Holy Temple of Knowledge, HQ of Church of Wisdom. So Church of... No, this is fine. Facesack will soon be entering the war. No, did I say that the other way around? That's fine. Whoa, Facesack is right on their borders though, eh? Oh, but the mountain rage stops them. Okay, so it's kind of like... It's kind of like between India and China having mountains in between to stop nuclear war. Okay, based. Okay, this is good. Man, Lone is somehow smaller than I thought, and Facesack and Intes are massive. What? 10 up trailer reaction. I don't think the nuclears are... No, Kami, I don't mean literally stopping the nukes. I mean more in the sense of it stops the war from getting too hot. It's like a Cold War basically, so they'll occasionally do... No problem. Okay, no, I'm so tired. Damn, I don't want to do the trailer right now because I'm tired. And it's I don't want to do it half-assed. Fuck. Okay. No, we'll do it. We'll do it tomorrow. We'll react to it at the start of stream because I want to do it when I'm good. Because right now I'm sleepy and it's my words are not coming out as clear as possible. So it's okay. We'll leave the trailer. I know. Sorry guys. But we'll leave the trailer for tomorrow. Alright, guys. I think common sense is not that kind of true. Alright, guys. We'll leave it there. Thank you so much, everyone, for popping by. Have a great rest of your day or night. I'll catch y'all a little bit later. And yeah, that's it, boys. Bye.